Today I'm gonna show you how to add textures in Photoshop. Hey there, my name is Ali. Today's tutorial is a request from Shanmo Quattro. He asked me on Instagram, he wanted to understand how we could add texture to stuff on Photoshop. So I decided to use this as an example. However, I'm not gonna go through like the whole process. I'm just gonna explain the texturing part. Okay, this is actually the final image. So if I close this layer and let's go down. Okay, I'm gonna close all the textures now. You see I have them in red just to know. Okay, now it's like completely plain. Let's even like close this one and that one. Okay, this is how it all started. I wanted to create some sort of like a rectangular castle. So I created just 3 layers. How I did this was using the polygonal lasso tool. I just like made sure the perspective is right and just drew some lines like that and used the gray color and started coloring. Okay, not only did I do like these parts, I also added this one behind. I added the sides of the castle, and then I added the front door of the castle. This is just like plain solid colors. I just colored, just simple drawing. Okay, now let's go with the first texture of like the middle part and how I did it. Okay, what it basically was, it was just a concrete photo texture. As you can see, you can find it like from I use usually a website called CG Textures. They have like high resolution textures. Okay, this is like some wall texture. What you need to do is, let's delete the layer mask for now. Now we have the photo. The first thing the photo will come, it will be like some sort of a square. So you need to adjust its perspective. Then you'll stand on the layer, the one below behind it. You'll press Ctrl and click on it. You'll get the selection. Then on that layer, you'll add, just wait a minute. I can't find it. Okay, you will add a layer mask. You'll press the layer mask. Okay, now it's added. Okay, now there are like few ways to blend it. Usually I always try the multiply and the multiply, sorry, and the overlay. Multiply here is too dark. So if it's too dark, you do the overlay. Okay, now we're good. Okay, the texture now looks good. Okay, then let's, for example, take this one. Okay, if you see, it's not completely clear, but it's okay because this texture here will be overlapping it. Okay, how I did this one, it's also the same. As you can see, if I close the layer mask and I change it back to normal, it's just like another wall texture or a wall grunge. All I did was, it was like a square. It was something like that, maybe like just like a rectangle or a square. What you do is you press Ctrl and T, then you hold Ctrl and you start playing around with the points. You see that line on top? You need to make sure it's the same as like the perspective of the one behind. So I'll hold Ctrl and Shift and move it until it's perfectly matching the line behind. Then I'll press OK. Again, if I don't have my layer mask, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the layer behind it, which is this one. I'm gonna press Ctrl and click on it. It will give me a selection of it. Then I'll stand on the layer itself and I'll do add a layer mask. The thing here is my selection behind wasn't really clear. As you see, it was like something scattered. It was not exactly a rectangle. So what you can do is you can stand on this layer, just take the rectangular marquee. You can close it for now. Wait, oh, that one, sorry. You can close it for now, and then you can just select this one like that. And once you open it, you stand on the layer, you paint black, it will remove what's missing. Okay, the final thing is you can go to overlay. Now it's done. However, you can also stand on the layer itself if you want to play along with it. If you don't want it like to be black, or if it's not black and you want it to be black, I press Ctrl and U. It will open the hue and saturation menu. You can make it like zero color, or you can actually add color to it if you want any color you want. You want it dark, you want it bright, whatever you want. Okay, now I added one thing on top of it. This is shadow. What I did is I added a new layer, hold Alt and press click so it's linked, and then just using a black brush, I would draw some sort of a shadow so that it looks like it's like this one is in front of it. Okay, I'll delete this one now and just let's see how I made the shadow. Okay, the same way. Okay, now I did the same exact thing for the one here. Same exact thing for the one here. The only difference between this one and that one is maybe like two things. The first thing is the perspective. If you zoom in, you see the lines here, they are walking in this direction. Here on the left side, they are walking to the down direction. So what I did in this one, I pressed Ctrl T. I made sure the perspective is, instead of like going to the left down direction, it's going down direction. That's the first difference between that side and this side. The other difference is this one is bright, this one is dark. Okay, how I brighten this up is I stood on the layer, image, adjustments, brightness and contrast, and you can just make it like brighter or darker. See, if it's dark, it's the same as the one like next to it. That's so I made it bright. Okay, I guess I did that for the rest of everything. Okay, here I added like two textures instead of one. Okay, now we not only did I add this like wall concrete texture, I added also some sort of a brick texture. Let's break this one down. Let's see how it looked like. Okay. Okay, this is how it actually looked like. You see like the difference? It was just a brick layer. I made it, it was like something like that. I made it horizontal instead. And if you see, it's not completely square. It was somehow like that. So it was a square. So I hold control and I just adjust it till it's matching the perspective of what's behind. Then let's delete the layer mask for now. I stood on this layer, not that one, the one below it. Not the sky. This one maybe? No, this one. Yeah, this one. I pressed Ctrl and click. It made the selection. Then I actually got lost. I don't know which one was it. This one, I guess. Yeah, the brick layer. And I stood on it and then I pressed add layer mask. Okay, we have some additions here. I don't want it, so I'll just click on it. And on the black color, Alt, backspace, it will paint black, make it invisible. Okay, one thing I did, I made it bright from top, if you can see, and dark from bottom. How I did that is that I went to the dodge tool and I would just like go. Oh, sorry, I'm on the layer mask. You must be on the layer. And I'll just like brighten wherever I want. And on the burn tool, I'll just darken wherever I want. Okay. After I did that, I changed the blending mode to multiply. Too dark, I don't want it too dark, so I went to the overlay. I did the same to these 4 photos. I made everyone separately, you know why? Because of the perspective, because everyone is having a different perspective than the other. Okay, and then I took the group, I grouped them all together. I thought they're too strong, so instead of lowering the opacity of each one, I regrouped them all together and just lowered the opacity of all of them together. Okay. Now let's see the other layers. Okay, this one is what like I really like to do. I just add a layer on top of everything. What I do is I go with a black brush and I jump to a crack brush. You can find just like right in Google free crack brushes. You will find like millions of them. Okay, and then I'll just like start painting black like this, like that. Wait, let me do it on a new layer so we don't like change anything. Okay, and I'll just do like this, that, maybe some stuff like that. You don't want it to be the same, so I'll use like different ones, one big, one small, one like change it around. Okay, and then when I'm done, I want the cracks to be like only maybe on the front parts. So I'm gonna press Ctrl and click on this one. Now I have the selection of only the front parts. I will go to the crack and add layer mask. Now I only have them on the front parts. I can change the blending mode to overlay. Maybe reduce the opacity so it's not that strong. Let's get rid of the other one actually and see how this one alone looks like. Okay, this is what we just created. It adds like some sort of texture because like in the real world we don't have like some perfect stuff. Okay, this one was another grunge. I added it the same way. Forget about the part below. I made it like that because I was like already gonna add a door here, so I didn't care about what's gonna happen below. Okay, now this is like I found some pharaonic drawings online. Wait, let me stand on the layer, bring it to normal so we can see it. Yeah, I found some like, sorry, this one, yes, some pharaonic drawings. I added it on top of the layer, and then what I did was, let me bring that back, sorry, to overlay, not soft light, overlay. Okay, and what I did with these pharaonic drawings, I just pressed Ctrl and T to just match the perspective, and I deleted them from everywhere except the middle. Okay, and I guess I had them on overlay as well. No, I guess multiply maybe. I can't really remember, but okay, just multiply with low opacity, I believe. Okay, another thing is I added this sort of like shadow, just like a layer and painted black. Then these were like some climbing plants. I added them, some plants on it. I was just seeing how it's gonna look like. And then like this was the left part. I added texture also the same way to the right part. This is like some sort of shadow. This is like a climbing plant between the two. And the final textures. And if you see here, I just added like a layer painted with white here, just to and made it on top of this one, of this texture. So we have like white on that area. Okay, now one more thing I did like to blend everything together. If you look at this one, you see, like in real life, we have always a reflection of the colors. So we have green here, it will reflect some green on the material itself. So I just made a new layer, painted with green. This is how it looks like. I painted the top with blue to match the sky. I painted the bottom with green to match the ground, and change the blending mode to color. Now it's coloring everything. Then I added some fog on top of the layer and some fog below. And then like I did the rest of the things. Yeah, let me just explain this one. I got that logo of like a company. It's a famous company. I don't remember its name actually. And I just placed it and added something called bevel emboss. It's the first one here. It like adds black on a side and adds white on the other side, but I closed the white to 0. So instead of having black and white, I closed the white. Now I only have black. So it looks like it's like going inside. Okay, and then I added like the rest of the things, the door, and added some light in the middle of the door, color graded everything, and then grouped them together and made like my final adjustments. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any requests, guys, make sure you send them and I'll make a separate tutorial for you. Thank you.